First topic. Blizzard had a huge patch that came out, and one of the things that it's funny because we actually talked about this like 2 podcasts ago, if I remember correctly. Were bundles. So
it's funny because I'm like 100% cutting you off.
Yeah.
And I don't feel bad about it at all. But it's funny because we do a podcast and we talk about something,
and then it happens
like a week later.
Wait,
it's just coincidence. Like
secretly somebody's watching our podcast.
You know, it would be really cool if we
all got like
alpha
in
games
nice.
to play. You know.
No, don't stop there.
My own account.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool if Blizzard did open beta.
Yeah.
Open the
alpha.
floodgates.
No,
man.
I don't want open beta yet, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't want that.
The game's still pretty buggy. It's still got little things here. The
No,
gameplay's
no.
not bad.
I
But
don't want people in there.
Yeah.
I don't want those people.
One of those.
you want to be special.
You know those people that I'm talking about.
Yeah, the Smite people.
The Dota people.
In
Yeah.
League of Legends.
The
League of Legends people.
MOBA people.
So, okay, the bundle packs right now they have 4 of them. And all of them you save money, which makes sense because it's a bundle.
Well, yeah,
I
because
hope
the
so.
So, the first one, it's kind of strange because they're calling the first one the starter bundle, but it's like the most expensive of them all.
Start with expensive.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
always the best idea.
it's not bad though. Like this is kind of how Smite did their thing with the God Pack, where you gotta imagine like if you're getting into this game and you feel like you're gonna play it for a while, it's worth it for you to throw in $30 because if it were any other game, you would have been doing that anyways.
Smite was a lot cheaper.
Well, yeah, the nice
It
thing
was.
about Smite is
And you
like,
get a lot more
pay
stuff.
$30 during the beta, and then you get all the gods forever for free.
Yeah, forever
Yeah.
for all the
Yeah.
every god that comes out.
No, like skins and stuff still cost, but whatever. That's where they make their money. So like $bucks, you get all the gods.
Yeah,
That was a good idea.
I'm still getting gods.
Yeah, still getting it.
I am. I put in like $5 forever ago, and I didn't even notice that it happened at a specific time where it got me that pack.
Oh, that's right. If you
And now
spend
I'm
like
getting it. Yeah, it was like that was like a promotional week or something like that. But anyways, yeah. So the first bundle pack's $30. If you were to buy them all individually, it's like over 90. But that it's all digital, so that's just like a made up number.
You use
Anyways.
in-game currency though for it?
No.
Well, that's,
You just get these things.
why
so
can't
you-
I spend 30,000 gold and get it?
You can.
Well, then they're not making money.
So they're making money off of skins and other
Yeah.
things.
So here the pack comes with
Get
1,
skins.
2, 3, 4, 5. Comes with 5 heroes, but then you get 3 skins, which only cost money, and then a mount, which it's the unicorn one, which is $20.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know why people want that.
Yeah, I
one.
don't want the unicorn.
I want the mech, like the
I don't know.
Cyberwolf mount.
Everybody has
Yeah,
it,
that's
and
true.
you see it everywhere.
I want the bulldozer.
I don't know
like the
how many
idea.
times I've seen Diablo riding a unicorn.
The Murloc
Like, it's-
Diablo, right?
Not in your dreams.
Like,
Yeah, only in your dreams.
Diablo, no unicorns, no! No!
Why Diablo? Why?
You're supposed to be on all fours!
And then they
Just-
have
Sexual dream.
sometimes it's better just to keep it to yourself.
No.
It's
Terrible idea. I like to share.
So what are the other packs? You have them right. in
okay,
front of you.
yeah. So we got one for Warcraft, one for Diablo, one for Starcraft. So that's pretty fair because you gotta imagine like most people that are gonna be hopping into this game were fans of at least one of those
Yeah.
franchises. So like I'm a Starcraft guy, so I just happen to not like any of those characters except for Kerrigan, but that would appeal to me more than guys I've never heard of kind of thing. So that's pretty smart of them. And you get like a mount with each one and a skin or a couple skins. So I'm okay with that.
Which one do
Yeah.
you get that wolf with?
The Starcraft one. Oh, which wolf? The Mecha Wolf?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the Starcraft one.
that's what I thought.
What do you get with the Warcraft one?
You get the War Horse mount.
How's that look? I don't think I've seen it.
He's got some armor, I think.
In World of
Well,
Warcraft.
that's what I thought.
Yeah, so yeah, not a bad deal. If if you're gonna imagine you're gonna be spending money on this game anyways, you might as well get a bundle because you'll get more for it. So, not a bad deal at all with that. All right, do you guys have anything to say at the bundle packs? That's a pretty quick point, I think.
We called it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Even like the bundles when it comes to individual games, like we called that.
Yeah.
So. But that's smart. That's smart of them.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, it's smart of them to do three different packs, one for each game.
Yeah. It just kind of zones out their audience and whatever. All right, so we're gonna hop into patch notes then, and for those of you guys that have been following the scene, this is like the biggest patch notes we've seen, and a lot of it is actually pretty significant. Like a lot of the user interface has changed a lot. How the quests look have changed. Like all the quests have almost changed. The way you buy skins are in different locations. Like they kind of reshuffled everything, made it look much more fluid. So yeah, let's kind of shoot through this. They added custom games. So if you happen to know 9 other people that have this game, you can get a 5-on-5 game going with those people, which is pretty cool. But then they specifically said, please note that observers have been disabled during this portion of the tech alpha, which to me means like we don't want to see tournaments yet.
Yeah.
It's way too early.
Oh, way too early.
Because as soon as Blizzard gives those tools,
They don't have detectors anymore?
what do you mean?
Yeah.
What? What are you laughing at?
Where'd you get that from, Jordan?
Your corny joke.
I wasn't joking about anything. I asked a question.
So yeah, it looks like you can even throw in AIs. So if you only have like so many guys, you can still get a custom game going. But anyways, so that's something. That's a step towards a more established gameplay, I think. Another thing that changed, they changed all the daily and hero quests. It used to be like win X number of games, but now, and that would work in anything. Like you could do it versus like in co-op versus bots. But now it is just play X number of games, but it has to be versus like actual people. Because what they were seeing people doing is they would join a co-op game and then just go AFK and like go do something else. And because the AI isn't very good,
AI is challenging.
it can be. But they don't think ahead very well, and they're really easy to gank and stuff like that. So guys would just go AFK.
It's like, I get ganked by AI all the time.
Yeah. So anyways,
Fury gets me every time.
He's just like, brute. Gotcha.
Oh, I'm dead.
Gotcha.
so now it only works versus peoples with actual peoples.
That's good.
Yep. And they capped how much experience you can get per day, but it's at like this huge amount of like 1.2 million. And I think that's just to stop people from AFKing versus bots and farming that way, so whatever. And there's no daily cap on versus mode, so if you're playing all day versus actual people, that doesn't actually affect you.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good idea.
That's good.
Yeah.
They just need to do something about AFKs. I don't know how bad it is right now.
Well, yeah, there's not as
But,
many people, but it looks like people can exploit it. So
Yeah.
I was playing today, and a guy went AFK, but he didn't like leave the game. Like he just went AFK.
yeah,
And
he was still
just-
like typing and everything.
Well, no, like he wasn't doing anything. Like he was just in the middle of a lane.
AFK means away from
keyboard.
keyboard.
So you can't
So-
typically type when you're not at your keyboard.
He had a wireless keyboard.
Yeah, his character was in the
Because it
game.
doesn't
Oh,
kick.
okay, it doesn't kick.
Yeah, because if you leave, it replaces you with an AI.
I was like, he went AFK, but he's still there.
Yeah,
Well,
but like his character.
then they
is so
should
good.
have it if after like 5 minutes of, like, what's the word?
AFK.
Yeah, but there's a word, but I was trying to think of not moving.
Inactivity.
Yeah, that's the word. Of inactivity, then you get kicked from the game.
Yeah.
Like that's what it should be, because there's no reason you should be gone for at least 5 minutes.
Yeah.
In a game.
Unless you really have to poop.
It's too bad. Bring your computer in the bathroom.
Yeah.
There should be a time button.
Hope that you have a
That you can use
laptop that you
once.
can take with you.
You can use it today a poop time
I
button.
played
Strip it to your
WoW.
phone.
Everybody's allotted 10 minutes of poop time a day.
Yeah. So you start your poop timer, go poop, come back.
I used to play WoW on a laptop, and I was raiding one time, and I really had to go, and so I just took the laptop with me into the bathroom and sat on the toilet.
And it healed through.
And was raiding. That's hardcore.
That is hardcore.
I don't know. It might have happened a couple times.
I'm sure it was more.
Just once,
the
every Friday night when we raided.
I'm raiding tonight, Mom. Nobody come in the
It's
bathroom.
got like speakers in there.
In the tub so it reverberates out.
The tub's just filled with energy drinks.
Energy drinks,
It's got a
speakers,
straw.
Just got a straw.
strobe lights. You're like
I could see you laying in the tub with like a piece of plywood
laying in the
It's got like the sound
over
on
the
it.
tub, and you have your laptop set on there.
Every time he does something good, he's like,
Boss down, guys.
Or those, what are those, the Vuvuzelas or whatever, the big...
Vuvuzelas?
Those are so obnoxious.
Jordan's raiding again.
Yeah.
oh, man. Anyways,
Yeah, so this guy, away from moving. This guy went AFK and he was in Illidan. And it was on the haunted, I keep calling it Cursed Hollows. Meadows? Cursed Meadows?
You want to say the haunted forest?
Sure.
Haunted
That's
No,
a
is that what you
Starcraft
want to
map.
say? I was asking.
Yeah, I keep wanting to say that. And we went for the first tribute real sloppy like and lost it. Then this guy just kind of went AFK, didn't say anything. And then you tab over and you can see how much experience everyone has. And he had like 200 and all of us had like several thousand. And it was awful. It was really, really bad. Like you really notice when you don't have a guy there. So we lost.
Well,
They end up having like 5 levels ahead of us by the end of it.
in Alterac Valley in World of Warcraft, people used to AFK so much in that.
Yeah.
You'd start, and then, like, the thing would go down or whatever, and you could run out, and only half of your team would run out. Everybody else would just be sitting in the caves.
So bad.
What?
And yet we
was
still
that?
win somehow every time. It's because the Alliance are baddies.
I used to just
Alliance
love
are baddie.
having a stealth character and sitting in one of the towers and just waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just waiting to pounce.
And just back half.
The best part was when I was Feral Druid, but I had Typhoon, and I was
Yeah.
able to sit in the doorway and
Yeah.
wait for people to come in. They come in and it's like, just go flying off.
Yeah, that's the only advantage to the horde towers.
Yeah,
'Cause you're able
Yeah.
to knock people off decently.
it's true. But that's the only.
But that's the
advantage.
only, yeah. Whereas the alliance towers are way easier to
And
defend
like
than
if you were fighting inside on the flag, your camera was like this close to your character. So all you can see is just like flashes of
or the
stuff
back
going
of your
off.
character's
I
head.
guess
Yeah.
you're just like clawing and shooting. And
There's like 10 guys in there just fighting.
Ridiculous.
All right, moving back on to patch notes. Okay, so one of the things, here's something I didn't notice, and I assumed it was one way, and I have since realized it's not. On the map, or battlegrounds, it's called Blizzard calls it battlegrounds, so we might as well call them battlegrounds. On the battleground haunted mines, you know, when you get all the skulls, these golems appear. Now,
on the battleground or in the battleground?
both.
During.
Say in.
I'd
Right?
say during.
In the battleground?
During the battle.
You're in the battleground. You're not on the battleground.
But it's during
I
the
guess you could be on
Your
the
character
battleground.
is on the battleground.
But you're in. The
And we're mentally in it.
During.
Anyway.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually there.
Yeah. Lit up to the Oculus.
Josh inserts himself.
I don't
into-
know about you peasants, but I'm
Bro,
actually in
I'm
this game.
there.
I am the rip.
Riding the, gleaming the cube. You never seen that movie?
No.
Gleaming the Cube? Oh,
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's a really old 80s movie with Christian Slater.
Nope.
And he's like some skate punk. Anyway.
I have not.
I've seen the cube.
That movie.
No, Gleaming the Cube.
Actually, I'm gonna watch the cube.
I'm gonna gleam my cube later.
Yeah, you will.
Oh my god. Okay, so the way
Yeah.
the grave golem works.
He did it. I always win. It's just one color.
He just turns it once. I won.
And done. Add a gleam.
I'm not even sure what you guys are talking about at this point.
I'm not even sure what we're talking about.
I was like reading something, and then you guys were on about 80s movies.
You said
Yeah,
Gleaming
Gleaming
Cube.
No, I don't know. Anyway,
Rubik's Cube? Alright. So, the way I thought it was with the Haunted Mines is that when all the skulls are gone, the first golem will have X number of health. Or like there's a pool and they'll split that health depending on how many, skulls were for each one. But it turns out that if both teams ignore the mines until like the very end of the game, even though it's the first golem, he will have huge health. So the way this works is the health of the golem scales per minute, and it used to be 625 health per minute, and now it's 750. So what I've seen, like watching, like Idra, he plays normally in a 4 or 5 queue. Like he's got like a bunch of guys that will play with him, and they've been playing a lot. Like all of them are level 40. They have a lot of experience in this game, and they communicate fairly well. So it's not a bad stream to watch if you see
They
them on.
were level 4.
Yeah, they were level 4. Now the wipe, right? But what they did, and this is actually a pretty cool strategy, and I could definitely see this being like the normal thing to do, is they collected all of the skulls except for one, and then they would just come back out, and they would have majority because they kind of focused on it, and the longer they waited, the more that golem would benefit them. So it was priority for the team to send a guy in there and grab that last skull, because if they waited longer, then he's going to become like a bigger and bigger problem, you know?
Yeah.
So that seemed like a really cool strategy, and that's when I realized like how it actually works. That's pretty cool.
Interesting.
So this is another thing that we actually talked about this, but another thing to combat the strategy of just ignoring the objective, like just going for mercenaries and pushing with them rather than the golem. And this is another way to make the golem that much stronger. They added 2 new heroes, Brightwing and Lily. Josh, you played with Lily, right?
I did.
And how you thinking? You like her?
I do, actually. She's very strong. She's very basic.
Which isn't bad.
No, she's not by any means. Not at all. I think I died maybe once out of like a couple games, 3 games, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and because it's so basic. Like her heal, you just click the Q button, and you click anywhere, and it goes to the closest ally.
Really?
Heals them. You don't have
Like
to select
closest to
anybody.
where you click.
The closest in the vicinity
vicinity of
of
where you click.
what the range for the ability is.
Interesting. That's pretty awesome.
And also, you can get a talent for it that heals you for 50% of what you healed your ally.
Not bad.
That's not bad
And
at all.
Anna is so like low for it that you can. I
Spam
was
it over.
casting it
Yeah.
on cooldown, like just constantly casting it. It'll go to minions as well.
Oh, nice.
Doesn't she also like get movement speed?
Yeah, she does.
Her
Every
movement
time
speed.
you get hit by something, you get a movement speed increase.
And she's got this little like dragon that kind of follows her around too.
Yeah, and you can like I don't know, it's cool. Like you can put like a shield on people, and it's neat. I liked her. Like it allows you to focus on the objective while still playing and being active.
Yeah. Good point in chat actually by J-Vesting. Because Jim Raynor, if you guys don't know how Raynor is in the game, he is like a warrior. Yeah, he's a warrior in the game.
Yeah.
Actually, he might even be classified as an assassin, but he's really easy to play.
Yeah.
And he's actually quite good. Like he can buff his teammates fairly well. And
Yeah, with his
in
bounty or
good
whatever.
in good fights, like you, if there's a lot of guys around, like he's
His
definitely an asset.
W is ridiculously
Yeah.
strong.
Even if it's only him, it's worth
That's
it.
his rally cry or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is what, like attack speed and
It's just
tons of stuff.
Oh man, like
it buffs the
hits-
attack at the very least. I'm not sure if it changes attack
Yeah.
speed.
I was just playing random last night, and I got him a few times, and you really feel when somebody uses the W for Raynor.
Yeah.
Like you really feel it.
Like even if you're just with minions, it just hit it, and your minions will crush those minions. You just clear it that much faster. So yeah, Lily seems to be that way. Kind of give you an idea of how supports work.
Yeah, I enjoyed her quite a bit.
And then Brightwing was the other hero. Have you played as Brightwing?
I haven't. No.
I have
Not
been
yet.
preferring. Okay, here's a little story of what happened last night. And we were streaming, so
Nice.
unless the video's been taken down, because I know Twitch only saves for like 24 hours unless you tell it to or something. But I bought Brightwing, and like just with gold or whatever, and I was trying to queue up with Brightwing because just before yesterday, I think the 3 days before yesterday, all of the heroes were unlocked. It was as if they were all in the free rotation, so you could play as any hero you wanted, and Brightwing was a new hero, so I figured I might as well play as Brightwing, and I really liked how she played. So when they all became locked again, I just bought Brightwing. And I kept queuing up with Brightwing, but it kept giving me heroes that weren't Brightwing. Like, it would give me Malfurion, who I've never played as.
Oh my gosh, that was
And
brutal.
it was terrible. At the very beginning of the map,
Yeah,
okay, we're laning together, me and Josh. And
I was like,
Josh
he's no-
dies.
And I was like, heal me. Heal me. He's like, oh, I have that?
I had never done it. It makes sense, like looking at other people play Malfurion and whatnot. He's a support, but I just hadn't looked at my queue yet. And he died.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I heard Josh raging the whole time, smashing his mouse on his desk and stuff. No, it's more like
It's because I get like
Like,
the
whoa, what's
frustration.
going
on
I
over
forget
there?
to take the mouse
Yeah,
out of my hand.
I do that too. Though. I do that too.
Yeah.
But it's not even that hard. But it sounds.
Yeah,
hard.
yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds hard because it's
So like,
reverberating.
yeah, it's like hollow in most mice, right? So yeah, it kept giving me.
I tell you though, I've
Chucked it across the
smashed
room.
that thing like crazy a few times in Smite.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
probably when you're playing with him.
No, it's usually at its worst when I'm by myself.
Huh?
Because I don't want to be playing with a whole bunch of random people to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you're just like, oh, I hate this.
Yeah.
That's when I rage less.
Okay.
Okay.
Lately, it hasn't been.
Okay.
Lately I've been. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I heard you last night.
Last night I know.
I was laying in bed and all I hear,
retarded.
I feel like little pounds on the floor and stuff. I'm like, what is going on? And then I hear Ao Kwong's tornadoes. Ao Kwong!
F tornado.
But anyways, yeah.
So
Back to you.
yeah, I kept getting these random heroes, and like some of them I'd played before, so it wasn't awful. But I think I'm actually the most experienced with Brightwing. It. We lost all of our games except the last one. Let's put it that way. But when
I can carry so much.
with when
I also heard that
True.
support characters should be in team fights.
yeah, I think that game was over.
Yeah, it was over because you weren't there.
even if those cannons shot, that would have delayed it by.
I don't believe that because we would have pushed really hard, and then we all could have teleported back, and we all could have defended rather than doing nothing.
Except you don't push with the cannons. The cannons shoot on their own. There's no momentum with the cannons. They just do their thing. But anyways, so I got on this morning, and I all of a sudden didn't have Brightwing, but the gold that I used to buy Brightwing was still gone. So I just, threw in a ticket, let him know there was another bug. So it could be nice
you
to get the
feel-
gold back.
Did you put the ticket in?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So anyone who's watching who might have the alpha, when you run into bugs, throw in a ticket. Let Blizzard know, because that's like there's two
That's
things
the
they're
whole-
testing right now. Their
Yeah, that's
servers
the whole point.
purpose of
That's
it.
the whole point.
and
You're in
finding
it.
the bugs. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And
if
alpha
you're
test
playing,
is
if
for
you're
that.
playing the alpha, remember that you're there as a tester, and that you need to submit information and
Yeah.
report things that aren't effed up or not working or whatever, and then they can fix it.
Yeah, by all means have fun, but you do
Construct-
have a duty.
You're not there to have fun.
Yeah.
You're there
This
to-
isn't fun.
You're there to be there.
This is serious business, guys.
It's a serious business. MOBAs are serious business.
All right. Going back to the patch notes.
It's a chai tea latte.
Probably the most, I would say the most impactful patch note, like the biggest change, and it's not I don't know. I'll just say it. So, hero movement speed has been increased, and we did talk about this several weeks ago as well.
Oh.
And what really made it goofy was like
They're running water.
their running animation like looked different than their actual speed, so it kind of messed up your mind a little bit. But now it seems to be much smoother.
I think
Psychedelic man.
Illidan's is the worst. His feet are like,
Yeah.
and he's just like moving like this.
It's like a little pirouette, like just ballerinaing
Just like-
across.
It's like, it's the funniest thing.
Yeah. So now this means a number of things. Like the speed is noticeable, but it's not like game changing. But it makes the game feel more fluid. So everyone seems to agree that it's a good thing. But the abilities where you have to target them are going to be that much harder to get. Like Stitch's hook, like Abathur's little spines, like all those kind of things. They're harder to
There's
land
travel
now.
time.
The skill shots.
Yeah.
Murden's stun. There was a couple times I should have had it, but
Well, even what's his name's Q, Rainer's Q.
Yeah, throwing the burst back, whatever it's called.
Snipe shot.
Yeah.
but he's a marine, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Still wins.
Only if there's lots of them.
He's like,
No.
I don't even have to look. Shoot.
Shoots a tree
I would
down.
love,
and then
I
it
would,
falls and kills a deer.
I would love to see a fire bat.
Yeah.
Fire bat would
Dude, that'd be
cool,
sick.
man.
Fire bats would
Give
be
it time,
awesome.
man. I think that's
Medic-
something they should do. I think
Yeah.
they will.
medics would be cool.
Medic as a support. You have like blind, like flare. who's
Yeah.
blind to
Blind
people.
and it climbs.
Remember that in Brood War? You'd all of a sudden like the vision range was like 1.
Yeah.
That would be
You do
awesome.
not
in
like
this game.
overlords and stuff.
Yeah,
like
overlords and
Yeah.
queens too.
That. Yeah, queens.
It was always good to do it on the queen.
So they can't spawn broodlings on your tanks.
Speaking of queens, I really like. I would have rather have had Zagara
Yes.
than Lili.
Oh, we'll get
Lili's
there. Like,
fun. I
probably next
enjoy
match.
playing it, and I think I will play her again often. But Zagara, I still think would have been pretty cool to play.
Yeah, Zagara seems like a really cool.
I want to. I want
And
to see
Murky.
Murky in there.
Murky, like
I want to see how he works within the game. Like
how the mechanic of him works.
Yeah, like I saw that one showcaster that they did, but I actually would like to see him on my team or meet as him and just to see how his character works with the team comp. And
Mhm.
What I want to see is the animation of those little Murlocs crawling on the back of all the different heroes.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
Diablo's easy because he's really big. But like, what about Lili? Lili's like a tiny,
she's like it's
a tiny
covered.
little
You
creature.
can't even
Yeah.
see.
Like they're almost the same size as as she is.
It was
Very
like
goofy.
it's like the piranhas on the Witch Doctor in
Yeah.
Diablo 3, jumping on things.
We were
Oh,
doing
yeah.
PvP, and I threw out my Piranha Tornado, and he got hit by it.
And it got my archers, so my archers were all because I was on my Crusader and I had the Phalanx archers, and you did it, and it got all over them, and I'm running away, and they're all running with piranhas all over.
Piranhas on them.
Okay, so looking at the hero movement speed, this kind of brings up a point that I think we could actually talk on for a little bit. Because currently, right now, all heroes have the same movement speed. And there are ways you can buff it temporarily, like Brightwing has like a speed buff where you get your mount as well. But on foot, all heroes have the same speed. And that seems kind of strange, being obviously they're all very different. But what do you guys think about that? Like, do you think that should stay that way? Like, should they all have...
Everyone should have a base.
See, I don't know why. I don't know why video games do this, but when things go invisible or
They
they're
go faster.
they go faster. I don't get that. Like if you're sneaking around, you're going to move slower.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a thief in
So I think
Skyrim is what I was thinking.
like maybe like Zeratul when he goes
Or
invisible, or Nova.
Well, I guess Nova, hers isn't really like. Hers is like a technological.
So both of theirs are.
both. Yeah,
It's just their bodies are just you can't see their bodies. It's not like they're crouching going
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this.
yeah. It's not
They're
like
just
they're actually
you just can't see
sneaking,
them.
but
So I understand
they're-
that. Whereas like
in that
a
case,
rogue in World of
yeah,
Warcraft,
Yeah.
he's actually crouching and hiding and sneaking around. But he's moving faster.
Yeah. Or
But
like
I think for those two characters
But
specifically, it doesn't change anything.
well, invisibility changes everything.
No. I meant that for this. Like I'm saying like on a logical standpoint where
A lore standard.
Zeratul's can't
You
stealth
can't talk
himself.
logic in video games.
I know.
You have to-
Well, but what I'm saying is,
That
like,
is your
if
problem.
Zeratul in any other game, like in StarCraft in general, whatever, when he's cloaked, he still moves the same speed. Like,
Yeah.
it's just an ability that he has to
I
camouflage himself.
just think because being cloaked is such a huge advantage that maybe like a 2%,
There should be some sort of a
2%
trade-off.
You know,
yeah, no,
movement
I
speed
understand.
debuff
I
or
get that.
something.
But I also think that there shouldn't be everyone's base movement speed is this much. I think there should be certain characters who that's
It's
one of their
slightly
perks.
faster.
There's not a
Yeah.
huge difference, but just slight. So then in the long run,
Like
if
Diablo should move
you
slower.
because he's
Mm.
huge.
He's massive. Same with what's his name? I don't know why I just want to call him Blitzcrank. Scallywag.
Gazlo.
Scallywag or
Stitches.
no, the
Scallywag.
Goblin.
Gazlo.
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 Scallywag.
I
I
wanna
said it
call
like
him-
4 times.
Gallywag.
Oh, did you?
Look at that ragdoll. I want to say video game.
Yeah,
physics.
like there's like this big mechanical thing lumbering around. I think he should move slightly slower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And then there's characters like let me think. Illidan, who I feel like should move a little bit faster. Like he just seems like an agile
Oh, for sure.
Char-
Yeah.
that he should have a slight
Well, his
movement speed
wings.
over Arthas, who's like he's just average, but he's got a lot of armor on. Like he's not gonna be moving that fast.
yeah.
Whereas like Illidan's like got one wings. He has like he can't fly in the game, but like he has that capability to be a little bit different than somebody else. And I think if he had a bit of a movement speed, slightly more than just a little bit heavier, a little bit bigger, then I think that would work.
Yeah.
But I agree. Zeratul would be more squishy if he was slower, but that comes into like
Trade-off.
yeah, because he's such a strong character. He does so much damage.
1-on-1, he destroys things.
Yeah.
Like, people try to get away, he, like, blinks in front and just keeps
when-
doing his abilities again.
When you do that much damage, you should be squishy.
The other thing too, like if you compare them to, okay, we'll say League of Legends, they have Twitch, and
Yeah.
he doesn't change his movement speed. He doesn't go slower when he's invisible. And then you look at Loki, well, that's a different thing. He's not always invisible in Smite, but he gets a movement speed when he stealths or does his ability. So you got, a little bit of both, and then you have, I don't know, I'm sure there's other characters
Kerrigan's
who
awesome.
actually go
Yeah.
slower
Yeah.
when they're stealth, because it's just
Her
like
CC is ridiculous.
yeah. But I don't know. I don't really think they need to worry about that right now in regards to the movement speed of
Because
stealth.
it would change balance. Like, if you were to make different characters different speeds, you would have to redo a lot of the balance.
Well, they just have to. They might just have to switch something around. But like,
Joker.
wow, wow. That's all I'm gonna say that
Did you
one.
notice that there was like a half second of speechlessness? That's rare, man. You don't see that very often.
Anyways, moving on. Done with this.
I'm out.
I'm out. Later.
Drops the mic.
Drops the microphone.
I'm out.
Anyway, Jordan, go with your point, man. Go with your point.
I don't understand
The movement speed thing.
Well, I was just saying, like, I don't think it's something they really need to concern themselves about at the moment. There's way more things. There's other things that they could look at before they even get into the whole movie. Currently, it's working for the most part, I think.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's not like Zeratul has that much more of an advantage. It is an advantage to be stealth, but like everyone says, he's a squishy character. If he doesn't get his attacks off, or he doesn't initiate the combat or come in at the right time, he'll probably die, or gets like significantly lose significant amount of health.
Yeah, he'll be out of the fight.
Yeah.
In one way or the
And
other.
so it's tricky when it comes to those, and like Nova too, she's super squishy as well. She's ranged, which helps a lot,
Yeah.
as opposed
Very
to
range.
Zeratul, who's melee, right? Close combat. So, I mean, for someone who's ranged, it might make sense to slow them down a little bit, but I don't know. I don't think it's a huge deal for a melee class right now. At least I don't see any reason to change it. But
And at the same time, like, when everyone's the same speed, if a buff happens, like Brightwing or anyone else that can give a temporary speed buff, it's huge. Like it's not like saying, well, against Illidan it's not that strong, but versus Blitzcrank, or Goslow it is. It's the same for everyone, and that makes it much easier to comprehend from a casual player standpoint, and it really doesn't take away much depth. I don't think it might just make it overcomplicated if they try to give everything different speed. So I'm okay with it.
Yes, no.
I just don't think. I don't know. I just don't think it would add anything to the game.
Yeah.
Because whenever it moves the same, then it's a level playing field.
It would.
Yeah.
It would add to it for sure. Like
it's level, but it's not.
If there were some characters that, like, let's say Zeratul.
Yeah.
Let's say he got a movement speed nerf.
Yeah.
Then he can't chase certain characters.
But then other people will be like, well, he's not fast enough to chase other characters, so we'll just choose
That's what I mean. So it does change.
So then,
no, it would change things, but I don't think it would add to it. Like, I think it would just be like something that wouldn't benefit the game. I guess.
Like, it wouldn't make the game any better or worse.
Yeah, it wouldn't cause it wouldn't make it any better, like the gameplay or anything.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh yeah,
I think
agree.
having it as a level playing field, speed wise, allows you to choose who you want, kind of. Because then you're not worried about, well, if this person is, let's say, Diablo against Zeratul, and if Zeratul moves at normal speed and Diablo moves slower, like, he's just gonna
win every time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but
you can't get away.
The other thing too is that, like, for someone who's an assassin who does good damage but is very squishy, and you go into a fight and you have to leave, if you're not a little bit faster, you're typically like, and there's a slow or something, I don't know, it's just easier for them to die.
Yeah.
And like, you think, like, for most games I've seen, assassins typically are a little bit faster because of the melee, because they have to get right in there, and then if they need to get out, like, an assassin goes in and then gets out. Like, that's their whole point of their role. Whereas the
more so in
warriors
this
go
game.
in, take some hits, do some damage, and then wait for everyone else. It's like the tank, right?
Yeah.
And then back up when everyone else takes off.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it wouldn't be a terrible idea to give certain
Well,
melee
in that
classes.
case, you could just give them like an ability or like something that.
And most of them
Well, yeah,
do.
it's talent.
but
That's
not a base movement.
That's
speed.
all you have.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess that's all
need.
you really have to do
Like,
is just switch, give them talent.
But I was talking like talents and stuff would be fine, but I'm saying like base movement speed should be base. Everyone should have the same base movement.
Yeah.
Whereas, but like abilities that increase it or decrease others is fine. Because that helps. Like, it's at least it's on cooldown. It's not like OP. You're not like, I'm moving way faster than everyone ever all the time.
Yeah.
To touch on the point.
I do.
Is that where
agree.
you're going?
You can see stealth fairly easy in this game if you're paying attention.
Yeah.
Because last night we were playing, and all I saw was like this little orb.
Shimmer.
It was like just a circle orb just moving across the map, and I was like, Justin, somebody's here.
We gotta go. But at the same time, like, because there's so many spots with either steam or like high grass that block vision and whatnot, it is easier to get away when you have the stealth because it's easy to lose where you think they are. There's even things in the maps like puddles that will shimmer a little bit, and I'm always looking at them. Wait, is that? Oh no, it's a puddle. Or there'll be like little things like that kind of placed around the map, kind of as like false cloaked peoples, to kind of give the stealth people a bit more of an edge. But yeah, it's the exact same engine, and they did it the exact same way, so the shimmer looks the same.
Notice they might even pull files from the StarCraft 2 game and use them for this.
They just might.
Pardon?
They just might. All right.
Jack you.
So.
He chooses to ignore.
What are you guys talking about?
We love you.
Next
Love you, Justin.
point.
The next point is they're all like the individual heroes' buffs and nerfs. So starts with Arthas. Pretty much everything's buffed.
For Arthas, yeah.
He felt weak.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
When I saw him and the things that he did, it seemed he didn't appeal to me as the Lich King. Like, it's not like, I don't know, like, I didn't feel like he was really doing anything when in fights. Like, he was doing some stuff, there was some cool stuff, but I didn't feel like his damage was really all that great.
Yeah.
Like, look at his one ability, his Frostmourne Hungers. And what it used to do was it was a 4-second ability that would increase his basic attack damage 20%. And now it lasts 2 seconds longer, so 6 seconds, and the increase is twice as much. So it's now 40%, and that's a huge buff. But we're gonna be seeing this from now until the end of beta, because
I just hope they don't get too carried away with it.
Right. Like, there's going to be lots of things where we think, hey, this probably works, and then after lots of playtesting, and I know Blizzard, they haven't said anything with this with Heroes, but we know in StarCraft, and I would imagine, and I know, okay, StarCraft and Hearthstone, they do this, and I can only imagine in World of Warcraft and Diablo, they do the same thing. But they'll track things down to, like, individual cards at Hearthstone. Like, if you play this card, what are the chances you're going to win this game? And they can see which ones need to be nerfed based off of those statistics over hundreds of thousands of games. And I imagine they would do the same thing in Heroes. Like, if you choose these certain abilities and your team wins every time, like, chances are we need to nerf that or buff this or whatever. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have, like, statistics up the wazoo, because that's just kind of how Blizzard works.
Yeah.
So right now is a huge testing ground for them to pull up all that information, because before this they were just testing, okay, well, the art department's going to play against the developers now for the next 2 hours, and let's goof around. But now that we have thousands of people on at a time, it's a whole different ballgame. So yeah, the Arthas, tons of buffs, like 3 of his abilities and his basic attack have been buffed. Barbarian looks like some buffs and some nerfs.
Anything to Whirlwind?
Yes. Whirlwind is reduced to 3 seconds, damage is reduced, and it adds a lifesteal.
Wow.
And it costs 5 more. 20 to 25. So.
Yeah, you can
So
just
they-
Whirlwind.
Yeah, it was ridiculously strong.
Yeah.
What I actually am looking forward about the Barbarian is the sound
When she
Change.
jumps.
leap.
Ah!
I hate it.
Like, even put in, like, the Diablo 2 male noise. When it goes,
Yep.
I'd be okay with that.
Why would you use the male voice when they
Because I only ever played the male, so I don't know what the female sounded like.
Well, that's because there was only a male in the second one.
Well, there you go.
There's a female barbarian in Diablo 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't play that.
Yeah, she's like, "Wah!"
Does it sound much better than it is in Heroes?
Better, yeah.
Yeah, okay, well then have them change it. Email them and tell them it's awful.
I can't stand the noise of it.
Can't stand
Yeah, it is bad.
it.
Like, even talking to John, I hadn't seen that jump yet, and he was telling me how ridiculous it sounds. And then
Yeah,
he showed me, and it just sounds awful.
It does.
But that's the thing, it's alpha. Like, I'm sure they're gonna update the
Well-
like in the tutorial. Like Uther's, the voice is completely different than when it is like in the menus and stuff.
Did she say that? By Snooze thing?
What?
Death by Snoo Snoo.
Who says that?
The
The
barbarian.
Barbarian says that? I haven't noticed that. I've only played one game with her, but I haven't noticed that.
Snoo
I played a couple, but I never really. I always have music on when I play, so. There's only like the louder things that I hear.
Yeah,
like
because
the-
Josh gets into it.
Yeah, well, I'm there.
Yeah, I'm in it.
I'm in the
It's
game.
there. I
You guys
walk
in.
in.
Get into it.
Yeah. into.
Such a pervert.
Pervert, Josh. Pervert.
Never get better
Never
again.
get murdered again. Murder. Murder.
Murder.
Annoying, isn't it? Pervert. Anyway,
Who's next after anything to Uther? Uther?
Well, after Uther is the Barbarian, and after the Barbarian is Diablo!
Yay, nerfs.
With, so with Diablo, the 2 ultimates, the one is shooting that, like, huge fire thing, where he stays there and can kind of spin around. Deals lots of damage, but you're stuck in one spot. And the other one was that Apocalypse. Remember how it does that circle of fire under everybody, and if it hits him, it stuns. The cooldown was increased by 20 seconds on that, and the damage was decreased as well. I guess the stun is enough of an effect. to have that work. And then if you guys know how the soul stones work, like when you kill a minion or anything, you pick up these soul stones just automatically. You don't pick them off the ground, you just obtain them. And there's one ability, I think the default cap is 100. The one ability makes it much higher than that, and now it's 200. And you can use these soul stones to like resurrect almost instantly. I think it's within a couple of seconds. And now it takes 100 to do that. So if you had been, playing fairly well and you have all 200 and you die, you just come back right away and you have 100 now instead of the 200 that you did have. But then he also has the other ability where he can like eat them to gain health. If you just step out of the battle, get a bunch of health. John was talking about that when he was on the show. And that's something he says he always picks because he plays Diablo like all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a bit of a rework. It makes sense that they nerfed Apocalypse a little bit because not very many people were choosing, like at least like the guys who were streaming, the guys who were like really high level, not very many of them were choosing the fire breath. So, nerf the thing that gets used all the time. It kind of makes sense.
Make the other one more viable.
Yeah.
There was a post on the forums for Diablo. Blizzard was doing like some contest or something where they wanted you to submit your builds and why you liked your build. And everybody in the thing was saying how they don't want to submit their build because if Blizzard sees this is common and it's working really well, that they're going to nerf it.
Yeah.
So everybody's like they're trying to bait us into giving all the good information.
All their secrets. As if Blizzard isn't tracking that already.
I know, right? I just thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, no, it is because guys, they, especially gamers, like you try to find your niche little thing that works, and then you don't want anybody to touch it. Like just
Yeah.
Well, I remember Swifty, for those of you that follow World of Warcraft, and then he was kind of doing Diablo 3 when it was coming out as well. His buddy built. You guys are gonna correct me on this, but.
Really?
I forget. Anyways, his buddy built a character and actually bought like a bunch of items for this character, and then they all got nerfed, and he has spent like actual money on this. Do you guys remember that?
Nope.
Which
Anyways, Swifty's buddy had built like a witch doctor or something character, and had.
It was Demon Hunter.
Oh yeah, that sounds familiar.
And then they nerfed like attack speed or something on it.
Yeah.
Diablo 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that essentially made all the items that this guy bought useless, and he had spent like actual money on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a lot more attached to it there, but it's the same thing with anything. It's like if you're playing StarCraft and you're really good at playing Stalker, you don't want any nerfs there, because that's your thing. That's what works.
The chat will automatically delete links, so you can just send a message and Sergeant Rock can post it.
Yeah, you can send a message like to here.
No.
You can send it to me, and then I'll put it there for you. So yeah, that is funny though. Guys trying to defend things that are out there anyways. But I'm pretty sure Blizzard was just trying to get discussion going, like have people talking about the game. Because looking at discussion on the game, over half the posts are people saying like, when are the keys coming to Europe? Like when is it going into beta? Like, guys, did a wave come out today? Like, everyone's talking about this stuff that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But not very many people are talking about the actual content of the game. So I think Blizzard was just trying to get a small ball rolling there. So that makes sense. Demon Hunter has been changed. I'm not entirely familiar with the Demon Hunter. Josh, do you have any time playing Demon Hunter?
Is that a joke?
I doubt that.
That's a joke, right?
He hates
Josh
it.
wants nothing to do with
You
the.
wish it wasn't even in the game.
So I couldn't really tell you because I played as a Demon Hunter once by accident, I think.
when you were trying to do someone else.
Yeah. No, I sometimes I'll go random, and that was just on the rotation. So yeah.
When I play the game, I'm just gonna go through every single character and play them, and just go through.
Yeah.
That way, I familiarize myself with that, and I mean, at least
Just play random.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but random could be I can get this guy twice in a row, and this guy, and then this guy, and then this guy again. Like,
Yeah,
well, I just do my own random and just do it.
But that's not random.
Yeah, let's go back in the definition of that word there.
Say it was a legit.
I'll just do my own random and go in order.
I didn't say it was a legit random.
I'll do Jordan random.
It's roughly
Start
random.
one and go to 10.
Start 1, 10,
It's
then
called
3.
it's called random.
Random. Dringy.
Just do my own random.
It's called Jorandom.
Geronimo.
Okay, so
Random.
the message that I received was apparently the barbarian saying "Death by Snow Snow."
Oh, yeah.
So I just paused the Diablo music. You guys aren't gonna hear it because it's gonna go over stream. But
Great.
Kills. Death by Snoo Snoo.
yeah, she does do it. She does say "Death by Snoo Snoo." That's goofy. I'll play it one more time.
By Snoo Snoo.
Easter egg.
That's
Oh
fun.
my god, it's hilarious. I love that. That's awesome.
All right, so moving on. Bunch of things changed with the Demon Hunter. I can't even tell you if they're buffs or nerfs because
Anyways,
the Demon
let's
Hunter
move on.
works with hatred
Yes,
rather
bro.
than mana.
Because Josh doesn't like it, we have to move on.
Yes,
There's no such thing as a demon hunter.
That's the rule in
the Demon Hunter doesn't exist.
our world.
Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure we live in your world more than anybody's.
It's Jordan's world. We just
Okay.
live in it.
I'm just the main character.
Like Barbie.
Last action hero over here.
Okay, so there's a
There's a-
bunch.
Incredible.
Let's go, bitches. We're going shopping.
Grabs the dice.
Josh is just
Grabs
like,
the dice.
Josh is just like,
Let's go, bitches. We're going shopping.
Oh my god.
Oh,
This
man.
leopard print pink fedora.
Hold it down.
leopards aren't
Go,
pink.
bitches. No, but it is. It's the pink leopard print.
Leopards aren't pink.
It's dyed
It's
pink.
leopard
Oh my
print.
gosh.
You're so stupid. It's not pink. It's actual leopard skin. Have you never seen me wear it before?
There's pink leopards.
Sure there are. I've
When
seen
you die,
pink
we're
hair
gonna
on
be out
people.
free.
If we can make people's hair pink, I'm pretty sure we can do it to a leopard.
Jordan needs to take a selfie.
in his pink convertible.
Oh, just a quick note. This is way off topic, but I was streaming 4 hours ago. No, more than that. 5, 6 hours ago. And right in the middle of a game of Heroes, actually, I think our team had just won. I think the victory screen was like just on. The power went out for this entire part of the city.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, well, I'm hungry anyways. I figured it was just like something local. So I hopped in my car, and I live right beside a fairly big street in the area. There's a couple shopping places kind of down the street. But I started driving down there, and every single power light was off, like every single traffic light. A couple fire trucks started cruising down the street, and
And your house
people
was
were
on
just super confused. Yeah. So I ended up going to my parents' house because they had food.
1,000 people without power this afternoon.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I took a nap.
Yeah.
I tried
crap.
I was
I
starting
should
to make
probably
food.
sleep now.
I was starting to make food, and the water was just boiling, and then the power was out. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go to sleep.
Does anyone want warm water? So yeah, so if you guys are watching the stream, that's what happened. Because I couldn't tell anybody what happened. I actually was messaging Joker.
37.
Yeah. Well, I
I
messaged him on Skype, and I said, let chat know, this is what happened. That I didn't just abandon you all, like my power went out. So. Alright, going back to the show. The next several heroes, actually all of them almost, just tiny little things. Like, for example, Raynor. His base attack decreased from 63 plus 12 per level to 63 plus 11 per level. So at the end of the game,
That's a marine nerf for you.
at the end of the game, his base damage is doing 25 less,
Yeah.
and that's it. That's the little thing they did. And a lot of guys are saying that his W should be nerfed a little bit, but I don't know. I agree that it's very strong, but Raynor doesn't really have many other abilities. He only has his Q and W and then his ultimate. So
Yeah.
maybe it should be strong just for that reason, but at the same time, he has that when he's less than, 10% health, he heals up to half, like, extremely quickly, as long as he's out of combat. So his survivability is huge. And that's automatic. So, anyways. Sergeant Hammer can go from siege mode to non-siege mode in half the time now, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
So it used to take a second, which I think is about the same time as mounting up takes, like on a horse. But Sergeant Hammer is really easy to pick off because it tends to be locked in. All these abilities, like the Witch Doctor, for example, with the circle of zombies, the siege tank doesn't have time to unsiege and get out of there.
You just drop it on them and they can't do anything.
It was like yesterday we were playing and I was Muradin, and I leaped over the siege tank and then punched him while she was sieged and went flying over towards Justin and into our minions.
And I was Raynor, and I shot just a little bit more. I kind of missed up the shot, but it still hit.
Yeah.
Really.
I set you up and you let me down.
All that matters is that the siege tank died. The end result was still the same. So we'll just ignore everything else. That's what happened. So yeah, all these other little things are quite small. Like Gazlo, his ultimate takes another 20 seconds in cooldown. Kerrigan, her one ultimate is she does like AoE damage around her, and I think she actually like levitates so that unit collision isn't a factor when she's doing this. But the other one is she makes an Ultralisk, and the movement speed used to be 4.5, and now it's 5. And that just went up because of the movement speed of the heroes went up. So it just kind of scaled upwards, which makes sense. Muradin can use his Haymaker down, like, more quickly now. So yeah, that's kind of good. Little things like that.
They reduced the cooldown on it.
Yeah, the Haymaker is that punch where like it actually moves where they are. Really effective. Actually, that's the thing you were just talking about, wasn't it, Josh?
Yeah.
So it used to be 70 seconds, now it's 50. Oh, Nova actually had a pretty good little buff here. That hollow decoy, where she throws out a copy of her and it will fake shoot and all the rest. Its sight radius used to be 3, now it's 6. So Nova can now use this hollow decoy as almost like a temporary ward, which is, I guess, something that was needed. I didn't play much as Nova, so I couldn't talk to that. I've been killed by a bunch of Novas,
Yeah.
especially with her global ult, where like this like nuke from heaven comes down and just kills everything. And even though it gives you several seconds to get out of it,
You never
don't.
notice.
Or I will, but think I'm outside of the circle and die anyways, and all that kind of stuff. So
The game just announces nuclear launch detected. Justin's like,
I don't know what to do, guys.
Just running in a circle.
He's looking all over the map.
where is it? Where is it?
My StarCraft senses are kicking in.
Bar, where is it?
I'm looking for the little flashing yellow, or a little flashing red dot. Alright, and Tychus, remember his one ultimate, he throws down that little laser? The other one is he hops in that big Odin suit, and there's been some pretty good like buffs there. The one ability, its damage went from 20 to 70, like that's like triple, and then some. 3.5 times buff there, and then the Ragnarok missiles, which I think was that long distance missile thing, that long range attack that the Odin has, went from 20 to 70 as well at base damage. So I imagine like at level 10 that's what it does, and then as the game increases like in level you do more and more. So yeah, Zeratul does less damage on his basic attack per level. It used to scale 15 per level, now it scales 12 per level. But I was playing against a couple pretty good Zeratuls last night, and they were not having a hard time.
No.
So I think that that nerf, the guys who have been playing him a lot might notice it, but it seems like Zeratul is one of those characters that, in the hands of a really good player, can do a really good job, which is good.
You know who's even worse? Tassadar.
Yeah, Tassadar is super good. Like, an amazing good support. like we had twice where Tassadar and Zeratul. You guys okay over there?
Yeah.
We had it twice where Tassadar and Zeratul were in the same lane.
Justin is a math whiz.
That's triple, and then some.
That's a,
I did the math in my head, and I was like, wait, that's even more.
that's a triple. And then some.
Man, but Tassadar and Zeratul together, because Tassadar has that shield that he can throw down. And that means Zeratul can stay in the fight that much longer. And just absolutely destroying people with that. So it was annoying, like the Protoss together. And they synergize quite well.
Yes, yes, they do.
Yeah, they go into an Archon. Did you see that episode of StarCraft?
That would be awesome. If there was somehow you could get like two heroes to jump together like that. The Hard Templar and the Dark Templar. Yeah. Just like the Carbide. Oh yeah, also Carbide had a new episode today, and it was actually one of my favorites, I think. It's on my list of maybe 10 favorites out of the 50 episodes or something that he's done. But it was good, so when the podcast is over, you guys should go watch that.
Will do.
Episode 3 or 4 of this season. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the notes. I didn't want to hop into absolutely every single character because most of the things were just little things. Do you guys have anything to add before we close out? Or
I want to play.
I want to play. I want my alpha.
yeah,
Balfa.
Balfour.
Alpha.
yeah. Like we were noticing some lag last night, and there was more. But you guys were saying you're noticing it even in Diablo, eh?
Yes, there's server lag.
Yeah,
Blizzard's having
surprised
server
it
lag right now.
Mm. You know what? This
Because
has
my-
nothing to do with video games, but it might have something to do with that Heartbleed bug. They're
Oh,
having
yeah.
to verify things a lot more than before, like a lot more checks and balances than before, which in the end slows down lines. I don't know if that would affect the game servers, but I know that's affecting a lot of different just internet things.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, and actually that's a good point. Jay Reesing, am I saying that right? Jay Reesing,
Dressing.
dressing.
Dressing, really?
Let's go with that. Dressing, salad dressing. There were some skins that were updated, like Kerrigan's succubus skin has been like redone,
Oh yeah.
and a lot of the skins used to have like glowing eyes, and now they don't. Like they redid the facial structure, and those were all thrown in with this patch.
Yeah, I'm glad they got rid of the blue glowing eyes on everybody.
Well, some of them still have it, but wait till next patch. They won't. Like you can
Yeah.
tell they're getting rid of it because that didn't. It looked.
We don't
pretty,
have to make their
pretty
face
silly.
glowing eyes. Done.
Well, it
Done.
took away
Just
from the rest
cover
of the
the
face.
It said glue blowing eyes.
Goo blowing
Glue
eyes.
blowing.
Goo blowing.
Glue blowing. I know what I'm doing after this.
Blowing some glue.
Give me some elders from down the street. You can have a good time.
That reminds me of that's so.
Numbers go way back.
You guys
My
remember that 70s show
Yeah.
where Red finds out that all the kids were like smoking pot in the basement because they would always hang out in his basement and just smoke pot. So what he did is he like took away everything and gave them like a bag of things they could play with, and they were all like wholesome activities like chutes and ladders and something like that. And one of them was a model airplane that they could build. And Fez right away picks out like the glue and he goes, "Oh guys, look what I found!" And Red walks down the stairs, takes the glue, and walks back up.
I get it.
Oh, dressing was. Are you talking about the glowing eyes there? It just overused in Blizzard games.
Yeah.
I don't really. It doesn't really look good. So I'm glad that they're getting rid of it. So yeah, I think that that pretty much wraps it up. It's coming up to just after 8:20 now, so it's been going for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It seems like a shorter show. Some shows we've actually gone quite a long time. But do you guys have anything to add before we wrap it up then?
No. That was just a large patch, man. Lots of
Yeah,
stuff changed.
it
Lots of
was.
big changes.
Yeah, and from here on out, this is kind of like a podcast note in general. Like the first 4 episodes, we spent a lot of time talking about like Blizzard chose to do this. What are our thoughts? Like from playing different games, what do you think about this? But as the podcast moves on and there's more and more news to talk about, unless the community really starts talking about an issue, like we'll voice our opinions on that and whatnot. But most of it's going to be news. Like we used to have a news segment and then a discussion segment, but as the game's being like bigger and bigger and more people are playing it, the news ends up being like the majority of the podcast. So that's just kind of the direction of the podcast.
Especially with the big patch this week.
Yeah.
They wiped everything, started.
Yeah, and that's something that Blizzard has done that before. Like they did with Hearthstone, where they wiped all the accounts.
Yeah.
And I'm curious as to why. Oh, you know what? I think I might know why they would do it again. Because they changed almost all the daily quests.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were exploiting that whole Go AFK versus bots. So I think they wanted to test the progression level, maybe.
You gotta earn it now.
Yeah. Yeah, they wanted to test probably how well it's like you can level now without it.
Like something I remember with this is Hearthstone. But the guys who work on Hearthstone, they were not allowed, like they had made a rule for themselves that they weren't allowed to have accounts where they just were given all the cards. Like they had to progress in the game just as anyone else would, so they would understand what it is to progress in their free-to-play game.
Yeah.
So I've heard rumors, but obviously we don't know. Blizzard hasn't actually said it, but I've heard rumors it's the same thing in this game. Maybe Total Biscuit said that, but anyway, it's not important. So yeah, it makes sense that they would do that to kind of test out, stretch their legs a little bit, I guess, as far as if these things are working as intended. But it does kind of suck. But you know what? They made up for it by having those 3 days where every hero was available, and that was really cool. So that was good on them. After this, maybe an hour or two after this, I wouldn't be surprised if we had some streaming of heroes, maybe a couple hours tonight. But we'll keep you guys posted. So keep an eye on this channel. And now that we have Alpha, we'll be streaming that more and more, obviously.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys click follow below. I don't know what direction it's in, but somewhere underneath this podcast box. And thanks, guys, for coming out. So any last closing words you guys have? I know we have our Twitter and our Facebook and everything else rolling. This will be on YouTube, preferably tonight. I'm going to try to get out there tonight, unless there's any kind of technical issues. We even have an Instagram, I hear.
Yeah.
It's QCPNet?
Yep.
The same thing that is on Twitter? Or on, well, I guess on all the things, QCPNet.
Twitch. Yeah.
Oh, me and Joker found a massive goblin. Treasure goblin. It was bigger than my character.
Really?
Yeah. It was like this big on the screen.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
So we put it up
You guys
on...
Instagrammed it? Instagram?
Did you? That's awesome. I'll have to take a look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
It's just like, let's kill it.
Were you able to?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Didn't it kill you?
No,
Oh, they said you died once to it.
no, I got one thing from it.
Oh, really?
I got a yellow and like 200 gold.
That is awful.
Yeah, it's not worth killing champions, and it's not worth killing anything. I've gotten more, and I know you're going to be surprised when I say this, and you're going to throw it in my face. But I'm not even going to say
Where did you
it.
get more stuff from?
I get more stuff from barrels than I get champions.
Yeah, it's true. Like regular guys with barrels, because you kill more of them.
Yeah.
So you have like
champions now, I just run right by them. I don't even bother with them.
Yeah.
It's not worth even on, like I'm doing like 700k DPS and I'm doing Torment 2.
Two barrels.
Yeah. Man, I just crit that barrel for like 5 million.
It was awesome. I killed it with a shot.
One shot.
Look at all that experience I got from that barrel.
Yeah, probably. I don't pay attention to what he says in chat. So, yeah.
All right, good stuff. So thanks, guys, for coming out.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
We are Quarter Circle Punch during the Quarter Circle Podcast, the most original podcast title you've ever seen in your life. And we'll see you guys next week.
Later this
Yeah.
evening.
Yes. Yeah, keep an eye out for us streaming around. So.
Jordan.